welcome to the channel. It's another beautiful day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it, and I'm glad that you could join me. Welcome. So you saw in the beginning, it looks like I was dragging a mower deck, skipping with a mower deck, and a push mower too. So let me show you what my idea is for this video. This is going to be a good video. This is going to be a good video. Let me show you what my idea is. So here's what we're working with. We got one of the mower decks that came when we bought the John Deere and all that scrap, right? That came with all that scrap. And then our free push mower. So here's what I'm thinking is, well, I'll show you. This is what I'm thinking. Nailed it. It's already half done. So I say we make like a trail mower that we can pull behind. Well, you can pull it behind anything, I guess, but like an ATV, an ATC, Ducky, the three-wheeler. So let's see if we can't get this all together to make it like a trail mower. We'll call it like the standard Trail Eliminator 6000 STE. Yeah, that sounds good. I don't think they ever called anything that before. Yeah, 6000 STE trail mower. This is going to be good. All right, got everything up into the shop because, believe it or not, it's going to rain again. It's been raining nonstop. So the first thing I want to do is get this thing running correctly and maybe even mowing, right? Let's just get it to run and mow. So if you didn't see the video before, pull start rope broke on us from this free push mower. So we need to fix the pull start, and the fuel line was leaking. And if you come in here, you can actually see where the outer casing is just coming off. So let's get that fuel line pulled off, and then it looks like this entire fuel tank has to come off so we can get to one. This one's been notched out for 2 because that didn't belong on here. And this one, 3, is kind of down in here. So yeah, let me get that all done, figure out if I can find a hose, get it pulled off, and let's see if we can't get this thing to at least run way better. Well, it ran good. So let's see if we can't just get it to run and not leak fluids. All right, so this is off. These were spinning. That's the reason why I had to take this full cover off. But this doesn't belong on there anyway. So let me show you this. This is really, really neat. So it looks like I have worked on this. They broke the cover, and so they just welded washers in there, right, to bolt it down. I mean, approved. And then this, they just drilled through and bolted it on. So let's get a new string wound in here. I'll just take that apart and get this thing back on. pull cord on, new fuel line on. Looked at the blades and they're not upside down. I thought they were. I don't know. Anyways, so let's see if we can't get this thing to run and maybe mow. Let's give it a shot. Well, there you go. I mean, it mows pretty decent, actually. So since we have a working push mower and it mows just fine, let's disassemble it and make it into something cool. So yeah, let's get onto the deck. That's the first part. Let's get onto the framing of it. All right, so here's the mower deck that we got out in those weeds. So I was kind of looking at it and I want to put wheels on here, right? That's the whole objective of the game. Originally, I was going to take the deck that, the push mower is mounted on right now, but then I remembered I actually had one sitting down in the weeds. So I dug this one out. So between the cold air intake on the motor and the 2-inch straight pipe, we'll add some yellow wheels for performance, and this thing is going to perform. The deck, this isn't in bad shape other than someone welded it up here and the weld cracked, or maybe they missed, I don't know. And then, I don't know if you can see it or not, this is bulged out. And the blades have hit it. The blades no longer hit it, but the blades hit it, and it looks like this got pushed in, cracked, and the blades hit it. So I'm going to weld something, a rod probably, from that side to this side, just to give it some extra support. But the first thing I want to do is let's unbolt some of this unneeded bracketry off of here. And yeah, then we'll do some measuring. But if you look, that's round, and this is round. So I think I should be able to just cut that, and then maybe cut it in half, cut this, and cut it in half. And then hopefully those angles will just be able to weld on. Here, there, there. And then up here isn't round anymore, so we're going to have to do some figuring out on that one. But I think that's how we could probably get the wheels on this thing. So let me get all these bracketry stripped off. I'm not going to take that one and that one off. They're welded on anyways, but I think that's maybe how we can mount the motor. But yeah, let's get the bracketries all cleaned off of this thing and see what we can do about fitting wheels on. Ta-da! Wait, it's the wrong way. It was supposed to be flipped the other way. Yeah, I know. So I had to flip it over so that way I could get to those two. But since it's like this, I can show you just how bad this is. So it is, I mean, it's gouged in like an inch where these blades were hitting at some point in time. They were hitting along there. Now, these blades are brand new. I mean, like brand new. So they've replaced the blade since doing that. So what I'm thinking is, down here is where the crack is, so I'll have to drill a hole and then weld this all up. But what I'm thinking is maybe weld that there, heat it up and bend it, and maybe notch it in here, and then weld it along there. So it'll kind of give it that strength through there. But before we do any welding, we'll probably want to get rid of this fire hazard we have going on here. And yeah, let's get rid of that fire. Ta-da! So it's all cleaned up. It's looking good. Let's flip it back over, grind it up, and let's get all our welding done. Let's just get all our welding done, and then we can worry about the wheel. All right. So I got this all ground up. I drilled a hole at the end of the crack, and then while I was cleaning it up, I also found another crack here. So I drilled a hole there, and then this is that rebar. So I just bent it 90 degrees, came across, and teed into there. I left a little gap right here so I can try and clamp it and maybe pull this out a little bit before I weld it, and then, you know, burn it in. And if we look, the blade clears by plenty. So we're not doing too bad there. And here's a little tip. I know if you guys are into fabricating or whatever, if you can get it to fit tight enough, like that, see, there's no weld, it's not welded in there, it's not clamped, anything, it's gonna be, you know, that's a good fit. So if you can get a good fit before burning it in, it's just that much better. So let me just go bust out the welder, and I'll weld up that crack, and we'll put the bar back in and weld that thing up. I think this is going to turn out nice. All right, it doesn't fit that good, I guess. All right, there you have her. All welded up, ground. You can see the blades. You know, they got an inch and a half. Yeah, I think it looks good. So I even hit it with a little black spray paint. Yes, I didn't grind it all the way down. I don't know. I just cleaned it up a little bit. So we're good to go there. How about next, let's go cut off those wheels of the other mower deck. All right, so the push mower deck is up on the operating table, and originally I thought about cutting it like along here, but I think I'm gonna actually cut it, you know, 2 inches bigger. I might be able to wrap that around the other deck, you know, the deck we're using, right? The 2 mower deck. The 2 blade deck, and then I might be able to just, you know, drill holes right in it and then like plug weld it all the way across, or zip screw it, or you could bolt it. I mean, you could do this without a welder. I just, you know, I would rather just weld things together. So, you know, don't let that stop you from trying to do a project like this, because definitely you could zip screw it, you could whatever. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna weld it, but so that's my thoughts. Is I'm gonna cut it like that and see if I can fit it on there. Yeah, we're gonna have to cut the middle, but I already marked it off, so all that's left to do is to get out the death wheel and do some cutting. So back up on the surgery table is the 2-blade deck. I just have this clamped on here right now. And as you can see, this, I didn't need to save that at all. But I always, at least me, I like to cut it big because it's easier to remove metal than it is to add it. I mean, yeah, you can weld it back on, but why if you can already have it there, right? So looks like we can just trim that completely up because it is sitting flush down here. There is a gap here, but it can sit in because there's a brace on the inside. So it actually sits flush all the way across, and then it actually sits on top once you squeeze it in. So this is the brace that I'm talking about. So I left that in there because, you know, like I said, it's easier to remove metal than to add it in. So if we needed that, you know, we could have used that. However, what I'm going to do is remove this. It's just a couple spot welds. We can grind that out, cut that out of there, and then it looks like where I originally thought about cutting it is the place to go. And then maybe it should be able to sit down in here is my thoughts on it. So let me get to that. I'll get this cut and ground and get it all and see if we can't make it fit better, because I mean, that'll be easy. We'll be able to do that one, and that one that easy. The guy over here, he's going to be a little bit different. But let me see what I can do about getting those things to fit nicer. All right, here we go. So how I placed the fitment of it is I went, that's the straight line, and so then I put that against the straight line. I like the idea of butting it up against here. So it's sitting on top of the bottom edge of this deck. But I like the idea of just doing like a seam weld there and extra strength. We can weld it along here, weld it along here. Here, it's actually pulled out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is probably cut and relieve it here and just push it in, because this doesn't have as big of a gap as this. But anyways, so once we get that pulled in, then I can decide how much of this to cut off. So it looks like all I need to do now is just clean it up and start burning it in. This should be easy. All right, plans changed again. So as I was cleaning it up and grinding the paint off so I can weld it, I realized that right here is actually touching. So I just lobbed that whole thing off. So it's funny because that's the original design that we had from the beginning, which that's okay. We had to cut some off, but that's okay. What isn't okay is that I'm out of time for this video. I need to get this edited and uploaded and out to you, all of my awesome viewers out there. But next time that we get on to this project, I'll have it all welded up, and then all we have to do is just throw the motor on it. Well, yeah, that's all we have to do is fabricate a motor on there. But till then, be blessed, peace, and oh yeah, don't forget, be blessed, peace. Just welding in the rain, just welding in the rain. What a beautiful feeling, just welding in the rain. Be blessed. Peace.